Breaking news, Nigerians former Attorney General Abubakar Malami lands in mercy waters. Welcome back to Prospect Channels TV. Thank you for coming out here. If you're just joining us, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Abubakar Malami, the former Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, will be questioned over at least 5 suspicious transactions during its tenure in office, the cable can report. 5 of the transactions under investigation, the cable learned are the mysterious payment of $496 million to Global Seal Holdings Limited as settlement for the termination of the Ajokute Seal cessation 9 years after the Indian company had waived all claims for compensation. Its handling of the sale assets worth billions of naira forfeited to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) by politically exposed persons. His role in the $419 million judgment debt awarded to consultants who claim to have facilitated to Paris Club refunds to the state. The strange agreement to pay Sunrise Power $20 million compensation in its dispute with the federal government over the Mabila Power project. The duplicated legal fees in the transfer of $321 million Abacha loot from Switzerland to Nigeria. The cable understands that his name has cropped up in a number of questionable deals under the last administration. The security agency will handle his interrogation, source said. Malami agreed to $496 million compensation to Global Seal over Ajokuta Seal plant dispute, the company having withdrawn claims for compensation in 2013. In September 2022, Malami announced that the federal government had finally resolved the long-standing contractual dispute with Global Seal over the Ajokute Seal Company Limited and the National Iron Ore Mining Company Itakpe successions. He said, instead of paying the original claim of $5.259 billion by the company over the termination of the successions by the Olusegun Obasanjo administration, Nigeria had secured a 19% reduction and would pay $496 million only. In 2013, Smarts Adeyemi, then the senator from Kogi State, had said the Goodluck Jonathan administration, which was in power at the time, had reconverted Ajokute's mill without any attendant financial obligation whatsoever. Malami's statement also came 5 years after Kayode Fayemi, then the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, announced that Nigeria had resolved all issues around Ajokuta and recovered ownership. The Global Seal had entered the Nigerian steel industry in 2004 after securing 5 major successions and entering share purchase agreements by the Olusegun Obasanjo administration. Things went sour when the new administration of the late President Yar'Adua Musa came to power. The government in June 2008 revoked Global Seal's 10 years Ajokute succession on the ground that the company was involved in asset stripping. It also terminated Global Seal's succession for Nimoko. The prompt Global Seal to opt for alteration against Nigeria. In 2010, a committee headed by Abdullahi Yola, then Solicitor General of the Federation, recommended that the Jonathan administration should pay a compensation of $525 million to Global Seal for the revocations. Jonathan opted for mediation, with the Indian-owned company agreeing to mediation reportedly after its under Berkeley was exposed. It was alleged that Global Seal had violated the terms of the secessions by not bringing in any foreign investment, but rather leveraging on the assets of the companies to raise loans from Nigerian banks. It was also alleged that the Global Seal had engaged in asset stripping, that is, selling the asset without regard for the company's future. The company was accused of tax evasion, and its promoters were to be prosecuted in a Nigerian court. Faced with possible criminal charges, the promoters gave up their claims to Ajokutas without any payment by the Nigerian government. In return, Ikpape was to be restored to them because of the process of termination was considered faulty, unlike in the Ajokuta case. So in 2016, the Buhari administration approved, after execution of the modified successions agreement with Global Steel, which allowed the firm to retain Ikpape. In September 2017, Fayemi announced that all agreements had been signed and Nigeria had now retrieved full ownership of the mills. Yemi Osinbajo, who was then the vice president, executed the agreement on the behalf of Nigeria. With this development, both Nomico and Ajokuta Steel Company Limited have now reverted to the federal government Nigeria, and we can now proceed to engage a new core investor with the financial and technical capacity to run the steel complex, Fayemi said. In May 2020, Global Seal curiously threatening to return to arbitration of the ICC setting in Paris, France, in respect of all the contracts cancelled by the Yar'Adua administration. This was kept out of public knowledge by both the federal government and the company, with some insiders suggesting that the new threat was made in connivance with some senior government officials. The company's lawyers threatening to claim up to $14 billion in damage, but later reduced it to $5.228 billion. On September 3, 2022, Nigeria announced that it had reached a settlement of $496 million with Global Seal, said it had rescued the Nigerian steel, iron ore, and rail industries from a variety of interminable and complex disputes. Meanwhile, the legacy agitations of asset stripping, tax evasion, and valuation of the terms of the agreement remain unresolved. However, with all this, Malami, rather than write directly to the Swiss authority to seek the transfer of funds to Nigeria, engaged Ladipo and Temitope Adeboye, the two Nigerian lawyers, to do the job again. Their involvement was basically to write to the Swiss authorities to return the funds to Nigeria, and there was no asset tracing and recovery involved again. They were paid $17 million as a professional fees for writing the letter, more than the Swiss lawyers who trace and recover the funds over a period of 7 years. Okpesheyi and Adeboye were both members of the Congress for Progressive Change (CPC), the party funded by Buhari to contest in the 2011 presidential election. Malami was a legal advisor to the party. Okpeyemi's name featured regularly in the illegal transactions while Malami was in office. So guys, I'm dropping it here. Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Thank you.